Those who live according to the flesh are concerned with the things of the flesh, but those who are living according to the Spirit, with the things of the Spirit. My brothers and sisters in Christ, in these words in today's first reading from the letter to the Romans, we hear this break between the competing pull of the Spirit and the flesh. The Spirit and the flesh are not created to be opposed to one another. That is the work of sin, that they are opposed to one another. Our flesh is good. It's created by God. We are created as the wholeness of human person, body and soul composite in the image and likeness of God. And so it's all good, but in our sinfulness, we have inherited this, what we call concupiscence, this very thing that Paul elsewhere speaks of, why I do what I do not intend, why I don't do the good things I ought to do. The spirit and the flesh is fallen. It's tempted constantly to sin, while the promptings of the Spirit try to lead us back to life in God. But these words that I started off with, that Paul says in the first reading today, those who live according to the Spirit, or to the flesh, are concerned with things of the flesh. Those who live according to the Spirit, with the things of the Spirit. They're an important reminder for us that we need to pay attention to what we concern ourselves with. Said differently, we have many hours in our day, although it never seems like there's enough. Many days, 7 days in the week, 52 weeks in the year, 365 days in the year, 24 hours each and every one of those days. We have a lot of time, even though it doesn't feel like it. We have a lot of time, but how do we use that time? Do we live according to the flesh or according to the Spirit? That is, we are in both. We are in the world, but we are not of the world. We are in the flesh, but we are also of the Spirit. But what pulls and what do I give greater precedence to? Is it the desires of the flesh? Is it to indulge myself, to constantly seek for myself these different things? Or do I indulge the life of the Spirit? Do I spend time in prayer? Do I spend time seeking the input of God? Do I seek His will? Do I listen to Him speaking to me? Do I seek to offer Him praise and gratitude? Do I root myself in Him? Do I look for strength in God and not in my own devices? Many times, despite our best intentions, we can want to be people of the Spirit, and yet, if we constantly indulge the flesh beyond the Spirit, then we will live according to the flesh, and we will struggle, and we will suffer greatly. Instead, we must endeavor to live according to the Spirit. And this is why our ascetical practices are important. Not because we want to be harsh to ourselves, not because good things suddenly aren't good, but they're a reminder to put, if you will, a stop in places where the flesh overdominates us. When we choose, for example, during Lent, when we abstain from meat on Fridays, or when we fast, when we do those things, it's not because the things we're avoiding are bad, but it's a point to put our desires of the flesh in check, saying, yes, this is a good thing, but instead I forego this because right now I'm going to focus on the Spirit. I forego this good thing of the flesh so that I can move deeper into the life of the Spirit. And so our asceticism is important. Our prayer is important. And of course, as we reflect during Lenten seasons, our almsgiving is important. Can I be a person rooted in the life of the Spirit in prayer? Can I put up a check against the desires of my flesh? And can I overcome my inordinate self-love by acts of selfless charity towards others? My brothers and sisters in Christ, let us live according to the Spirit, not according to the flesh, that we may know life in God. May God bless you all.